What's up, guys? It's your boy Yeet here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm coming at you with an updated Tachikaze deck profile. On the last Tachikaze deck profile, I got amazing response. I had over 111 views at the time of recording this video, and after playtesting a lot in the new meta with a lot of quick markers, especially against Yasuie since I just uploaded that deck profile, I actually was like, I started thinking, this deck does scroll through your deck very fast, so you really kind of want to finish really want to finish your opponent early. So I was like, well, what was the best power up that this deck got? It's a power of quick gauges, right? So your deck fast. I was like, I think I actually have to rethink how I played Tachikaze, and so I went back to how I originally started playing Tachikaze back when I first got Ravenous Strike and Gigarex and like the whole deck, and I was like, so the old way of playing Tachikaze without sweeper does better because it's getting you bigger hand and keeping your cards away from death. And that's exactly what I ended up returning back to, except this has a lot, and I mean a lot more power, but the power becomes bigger sacrifice. And that sacrifice comes in your deck, because your deck becomes the fuel for its own power. Essentially, the bigger power you accumulate, the minuscule your deck will become. It is a double-edged sword, but my Tachikaze boys always lead through. Haters on Tachikaze can go screw themselves. This is my pride and joy. Tachikaze has always been my pride and joy, and today it has de-evolved to become success again. And I am going to start the deck profile. If you guys are new to the channel, leave a like and subscribe. And before anyone asks, it is an Excel 2 deck, will always be an Excel 2 deck, and the quick shield is Blitz Order, which adds 5k. Alright, now to the deck profile and my passion. For starters, obviously we are playing my main avatar. The real reason Tachikaze even is a great deck for me, and that is 4 copies of Ravenous Dragon Gigarex. This is my pride and joy. As you can tell, I take this card very, very seriously. The Blood-Armed Tempest just completely is a dominant on the battlefield, with Blood Fury stained all over his axis. The Tempest survives and storms on the field. For those who are unfamiliar with my avatar's skill, on Vanguard, when this unit attacks, you can place any number of quick gauges onto one equipped gauge onto any number of your units. You can choose to just put it on one, you can choose to put it on all of them. And on Vanguard Shield Act, you can discard 5 equipped gauges, five equipped gauges, and 3 of your opponent's front row units get minus 5k. Wait. The light was blinding me. 3 of your front row rear guards get plus 5k until the end of the turn. If your opponent's damage zone has 4 or less cards, deal 1 damage to your opponent's Vanguard. This skill is actually really accessible. The second skill is actually way more accessible with this version because I built it to accommodate one of the most broken units before actually it got limited to 1. And that is the new unit I also picked up, and that is the 1 copy of Thundering Sword Dragon Angerblader. That's right, I now have acquired the Savage. This Thundering Sword Dragon Angerblader has an active Vanguard skill. When it's placed, put one of your rear guards face down. Like this, well, actually, I can't say once per turn because this skill can actually be used as many times as I want. And this giant hand that this deck acquires for the sacrificing of this unit just can completely retire your opponent's board in 1 turn if it really wanted to. So I can put a rear guard face down as an equipped gauge for one of your other rear guards, choose your opponent's rear guards and retire it. And auto Vanguard, when it attacks, counterblast 1, stand 3 of your rear guards with 3 or more equipped gauges, and all of your front row get 5k into the end of the battle, including himself. This card is ridiculous and is 100% reason why itself on its own people just played 4 copies of this and like an absurd amount of grade 2 quick gauges and stuff like that, and they just consistently just started ramming their opponent by grade while they were on grade 2. Well, this one you were on grade 3 and they were on grade 2. 100%. One of the most best Tachikaze units they've ever entered the game, and it took me forever to get this card, but when it hit $2, I was like, I have to pick it up. Next up, another slept on card is actually Destruction Dragon Dark Rex. On my previous one, people were saying you can't use Dark Rex's skill during the battle phase, and you were actually correct on that, and I messed that up. However, though, it is an act that can be performed during the main phase of discarding 2 quick gauges from any of your units, and you can either superior ride this unit as stand or call it to rear guard. Either one of them is fine, because it is, if you're like lacking a little bit of power, or if you just want to get another draw because you really want more cards in your hand, you can just do that. And then on Vanguard Rearguard Circle Continuous, during your turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 power for each of your quick gauges. So it's a really big beat stick, and this actually is really just a safe zone bet if you don't have a grade 3 in your hand. And we are playing like 8-3 grade 3s, and the last grade 3 you're playing is the 1 copy of Tyrant Deathrax, just to have a way of retiring your troublesome opponent's rear guards efficiently, and just becoming another really big hitting beat stick. Plus, I pulled the alt version, so I really had to play that unit. On to grade 2s. Like I said, you don't need sweep. You could play sweep. If you really wanted to play sweep, I guess you could replace... I actually don't know where you would play sweep in this deck. I really like how this is built without sweep or Smilodon, but I don't know. You can really essentially try it how you like, but the Tachi King has to play it the way that he likes it. And as the Tachi King, I'm playing Ravenous Dragon Gigarex. This is another great way of getting equipped gauges and also securing more hand. Vanguard Rearguard when it attacks the Vanguard. I can retire another Rearguard, draw a card, and I can counterblast one as an option to put an equipped gauge down on this unit and get plus 5k for each equipped gauge Gigarex has. So Gigarex on its own can become a really big unit if it's on the rear guard of Angerblade. You can completely stack up a bunch of equipped gauges on Gigarex and just hammer your opponent for over something that will have to make them completely use a PG on it or they die. Next up is another way of securing a big hand and looking for Angerblader or more equipped gauging ads is Assault Dragon Plytops. If for some reason you end up having to retire Plytops, you can counterblast one and add up to 2 equipped gauges from this unit to your hand. And this is like really good for like searching, again, like I said, equipped gauging searchers, PGs that somehow might end on there. It's just really good. Some people will actually, you could take out Plytops if you don't really think you need more hand wise for Sweeper or Smilodon. You could do that, but I personally have really enjoyed using Plytops. This helps me dig for my Angerblader that I need, so that I would like to play. And then to also fuel up equipped gauging searches, or actually even the requirement to hit 3 equipped gauges on all of your units. I actually added my 3 copies of Savage Raider. I usually just play one of this unit in my old version, but actually now that I have Angerblader, or I'm actually really starting to force myself to go for the second effect of Gigarex, I decided to re-add Savage Raider because I can place an equipped gauge auto or of a choice, and on rear guard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, I can move any number of equipped gauges on one of my units to another one of my units. So if I have like Lyceratex in the back row and Plytops in the front with 2 units, Savage Raider attacks, make this unit 3, and then when Angerblader attacks, I could have another grade 3 rear guard to stand. So Savage Raider can make those 3 equipped gauges really become easy on its own. So I really like Savage Raider. It's a great added to the deck. Although I'm only playing 11 grade 2s, this deck does not hurt. The fact that it's only playing 11 grade 2s, you can easily find your grade 2s in your deck. But the grade 1s are so important in this deck, it's not even funny. For example, one of the most important grade 1s in your deck is actually Lightblade Dragon Zandilifo for multiple reasons. Zandilifo is essentially another Savage Raider. I can actually rear guard. I can rest this unit, choose one of my rear guards, and put in a quick gauge on that unit face down, and it gets 5k into the end of turn. Or I can move all of my rear guards equipped gauges to that unit, from one unit to that unit, and then I can counterblast one and get another 5k to the end of the battle for each of those units. That's Zandilifo. It's essentially another way of fueling up Angerblader. Another one of your quick gauge makers is actually Angry Roar Dragon Robario. Robario is auto rear guard with place Soul Blast 1. Put one of your equipped gauges face down to one of your units, and then this unit gets 5k into the end of the turn for each of its equipped gauges. Well, that unit. And then we are playing three copies of Vicious Claw Dragon Lacertex, auto written placed. It becomes you add an equipped gauge from your deck, and then this actually is like another Plytops, except it's a Soul Blast 1 to add 1 to your hand from its equipped gauges. And then grade 1 that actually people kind of forgotten, but the way that I really like this deck is if you don't have enough cards to get Angerblader, when you finally get your Angerblader on there, I was like, oh, I have to use a lot more cards in hand. What's another way I can get an easy card back in my hand? I was like, of course! How'd I forget this? It's Skype Tarot. People forgot that Skype Tarot is another reoccurring card in Tachikaze, and you're easily retiring a bunch of units you're in this deck, whether it be from Gigarex, whether it be from Tyrant Deathrex. There are ways to retire in this deck, and Skype Tarot is no exception of a really essentially good target for retiring with anything. And then you can counterblast one and re-add it back to your hand, and then it essentially becomes an extra 10k shield or another equipped gauge fodder for Angerblader. So I really think Skype Tarot is a really good add, and the reason why there's 3 copies in this deck in general is because if some of them and most of them will end up in the drop zone from extra equipped gauging not chosen, or just in general end up in the damage zone. And I really want to see that Skype Tarot card if it comes down to it. So that's the whole reason why there's 3 of them in the deck. You can mess around with the ratios, but after testing, I just find that 3 is just a really safe number. That's it for the grade 1s, and that's actually it for all the normal units. Extra onto the triggers. My trigger lineup hasn't changed one iota. I'm still playing 6 crit, 6 draw, and 4 of those are your PG draws Archbird, and then 4 heals in the form of Savage Shaman, and then your 1 copy of your Quick Shield starter, which is Dragon Egg. That's it for the deck profile. That's it for my upgraded Tachikaze deck. If you guys enjoyed the deck profile, leave a like and subscribe. Comment what you guys think. And I'll catch you guys here on the next time for a new deck profile. And the next Tachikaze deck profile that's coming out, and I'm really pumped for, I'm really going to be buying K-Split, is Gaia. When Gaia comes out, mark my words, I'm having a Gaia deck profile. Without further ado, this is your boy Yeet signing out. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys here next time.